Nick, that was a really long minute. I know. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Sorry for the delay. That was a real long minute, as we just said. Appreciate everyone stopping by. Hope everyone's having a glorious Thursday. Probably the second to last Thursday stream. Probably. Unless we go live week 18. I don't even know if there's a Thursday game in week 18. But week 18 is going to be brutal. So hopefully no one's playing in week 18. Hopefully not. All right. You won by 0.32. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. 0.32. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, you know? That's crazy. That is crazy. That really is crazy. I feel like the closest I've ever won by was probably around that number too. I know my dad one time lost because his quarterback did a kneel down and he lost 0.10, and that's how he lost. Quentin Johnson or Amari Cooper. Quentin Johnston. What's up, everyone? What's up, Spock? What's up, Caitlin? What's up, Tyron? How you guys doing? Should I start Brees or for Moore? I would probably play Moore. Yeah, I agree with that. Howdy, y'all. What's up, Josh? How you doing, man? Murray or Stafford? I would go Murray and then White over Mixon. I would play Mixon personally. What's up, Ink Stars? Thank you very much. Big injuries making their way. Big waiver ads. Patrick Taylor Jr. or Kendre? I would rather play Patrick Taylor Jr. Richard or Lutz? Personally, I would go with Richard. See, Spock, I'm a little bit worried about Kendre. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I just think the 49ers kind of just have that running back factory that they're just churning out every single week. And I kind of just think that while I don't think Patrick Taylor's really that great, I think he'll probably end up having a decent game. What's going on, Nick? What's going on? Yeah, hit that like button, PMA. Thank you. Make sure everyone hits that like button. Hit that subscribe button too, like it owes you some money. Spit on that thing. You get me? What's good, Nick? What's going on, Jake? How you doing? Need 3 of Kupp, T. Higgins, Colton Sutton, and Amon-Ra. Yeah, that's the type of question that is really tough. I would personally play... I'm going to pull up my rankings because honestly, that is a tough question. I have Amon-Ra ranked 7. I have Sutton ranked 12. I got Kupp 13, Higgins 14. So the odd man out is going to be T. Higgins. Wait, what up, Brody? What going on? Denver, Ravens, or the Chiefs? For the defense, I'm going to move my mic closer. I assume it sounds fine, but we'll just move it slightly closer. So the question was Denver, Ravens, or Chiefs? Personally, I have the Denver Broncos ranked the highest. Jennings or Myers? I would play Jennings. Grippy, start 2. Rico, Brees, B-Rob, Sutton, Juan. Rico, and I would play Sutton. Chuba or Sutton? I would play Chuba. Hey, handsome, thank you. How kind. Are we starting Knicks or Anthony Richardson? I would be playing Knicks. I would be playing Knicks. Could you pick one for me for the flex? James Conner, Scary Terry, Jaden Reed, BTJ, or Hubbard? I'm nervous about Terry this week. Yeah, I'm nervous about Terry too. For me, it'd be between James Conner and Chuba Hubbard. I have James Conner ranked as my running back numero 6, and I have Hubbard 8, so I would go Conner. Worthy or Dobbs? I would play. It's like a toss-up. Personally, I'd lean Worthy by like half an inch, not by like a wide margin. Play Denver defense side of the Falcons. I'd play the Falcons. Michael Penix at home for the playoffs or Sam Darnold. Yeah, I'm going Sam Darnold, assuming I don't think the rain's supposed to be that bad from what I've read. Full PPR, super flex, DK Metcalf, Devontae Smith, Zay, Flowers, Brees Hall, B-Rob, choose 3. Thanks, Nick. No problem. I would play Devonta, Brees, and Brian Robinson. Here are Spock's rankings at the quarterback position. Check those out. I'm going to just read off my rankings real quick. We did get a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Izzy Drizzy, make sure you drop your question in chat, and you did. I'm going to get to that in just half a second. So my quarterback rankings are Hurts, Burrow, Allen, Lamar, Baker, Darnold, Jaden Daniels, Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Bo Nix, Brock Purdy to close out the top 12. Doesn't look shockingly off of what Spock has. we're both pretty dialed in together. I assume we think pretty similarly. We're two smart guys, so that's really not that crazy that there's not that much of a difference between us. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And Emmanuel, I will get to your questions shortly. Thank you again for the super chat, Izzy Drizzy. I really appreciate you. Chargers or Lions defense? Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I would not want to play the Lions defense, but I think in this spot, I would play them. The problem with the Lions defense is they are beaten. They are battered. I mean, they are down a million guys. They are down a million guys. The whole team is. Like, the Lions have gotten whacked for fantasy football. I don't think I have seen a team get this hurt in a while. Like, let's see. Lions injury list. Like, is there just a list of guys that are out for the season? Yeah, if you scroll through this, there's just a million. Montgomery out. Their center might not play. Their safety's on IR. Their other safety's a DNP. Hutchinson's out. Dorsey's out. Carlton Davis out. McNeil out. Wingo out. Rodriguez out. I mean, they're suffering a crazy amount of injuries, but let's see how they played last time against the Bears. I mean, the Bears kind of look like shit. I'm going to be honest. Like the Bears are really confusing because I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears ended up having a big game offensively and like have like this shootout. But the Lions last time up against the Bears, they got 7 points. They scored -10 last week, but we all know that there's a big difference between the Lions and the Bears, obviously, or the Bears and the fucking Bills. Chargers kind of just got shit on by the Bucks. I think the Chargers are fine, but I'm going to lean with the Lions just because I think Caleb will make enough mistakes to where you could heavily benefit off of that. It's not by a wide margin, though. I'd personally lean with the Lions. Thank you for the super chat. Tyler, my man, I really appreciate you. Lutz or Richard for the kickers. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler has been a subscriber for a long time. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Tyler. It means the world to me. All right, so this Richard guy has actually been really good. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I did not know too much about Will Richard until this year. I have no idea. He might be a rookie. He looks like a child, if you've ever seen a picture of him, like with his helmet off. But he's actually played quite good. I'm not going to sit here and like say, oh, he's the best kicker in the NFL. I don't think he is. But he has been relatively solid when he's gotten the nod. So I do like Richard. Lutz is going up against the Chargers tonight. Lutz has also been a pretty decent kicker. Like, I'm surprised Lutz still isn't on the Chargers. I honestly don't even remember what the fuck ended up happening there, why he ended up leaving the Chargers. Not the Chargers, the Saints is what I meant to say. Personally, I could see there being a decent amount of field goals tonight, but I also feel like the Vikings versus the Seahawks, like that kind of feels like the kind of game where for some reason, like the Vikings are just so hot and now magically they just can't score as much and they're kind of kicking a bunch of field goals. So gun to the head, if it's my team, I would be playing Richard, who again looks like he's like 12 years old. I would be going with him. And then the Bills or the Broncos defense, that's a great question. Personally, assuming Boyles means Bills, I know that it was a typo there, but that's okay. I spell shit wrong all the time. You guys would be shocked at if you ever looked at my notes for the videos, right, where I write down all the stats. Like shocking. I don't just know all of those stats off the top of my head. There is like roughly 10 zillion errors. It's pretty bad. It's like you know how like on Word it like puts like the red squiggly, like half the words have red squigglies because I just type super fast and I can read it. I know what to say. So Bills or the Broncos defense. I would go with the Bills. I don't think the Bills. Yeah, you meant the Broncos or the Bills. Thank you very much. You didn't have to super chat again. I appreciate you. That means a lot. So the Broncos versus the Bills. Now, I like the Broncos defense. I think if you're just trying to say who's the better defense in the NFL, like, hey, Nick, you could take one of these defenses, throw them on the Miami Dolphins. I would personally take the Broncos defense, right? I think the Broncos are a better defensive unit. But I think the Bills are in a much better spot going up against a Patriots offense that really doesn't have any studs on it. Like, I guess Ramondre's a stud, but he isn't super reliable. Henry's a pretty solid tight end, but like Drake May's a good quarterback, but they're Demario Douglas, Kayshon Boutte, Kendrick Bourne, right? They don't really have those oomph, that extra oomph, those name brand guys, right? They've got like Walmart brand wide receivers, CFL wide receivers. So I would personally go ahead and lean back and go with the Buffalo Bills up against the Patriots. The Patriots offense, they're fine, but I do think that Drake May will make a couple of mistakes here, maybe get sacked a couple of times. But yeah, I would definitely go ahead and go with the Bills. Hopefully you can get Drake May to make some mistakes. And honestly, he's a rookie, and that has happened a bunch this season. So I don't think the Bills defense is like elite by any means, but this week I got him as a top 3 defense. Do you still think Josh Allen is overrated? I don't think I ever actually believed Josh Allen was overrated. I do think Josh Allen is overrated in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he's a great quarterback. And I like Josh Allen. I'll be honest with you. I like Josh Allen, the player. I just hate that he's on the Bills. So I'll probably never give him the true credit he actually deserves. That's just kind of how it goes. But I do like Josh Allen in fantasy. I mean, for years I've been talking of Josh Allen. I talked of Josh Allen. You can watch a video of me on my channel from like 2018. When did he get drafted? Josh Allen NFL draft. Or was it 2019? He was in the 2018 draft. A video of me from 2019 where I talked up Josh Allen. I said, this guy's going to be a beast. There's like a whole video about it. So I was in kind of early on Josh Allen. A lot of people were scared of Josh Allen. Not me, though. Not me, but I don't like him. He has Justin Jefferson and Ja'Marr Chase and Najigba in his lineup. I'm a bit worried. Well, that is a little bit scary, but it's okay. We're going to help you out, Emmanuel. I got you, fam. Thank you for the super chat. Dude, that fucking song that Ninja keeps singing on TikTok, where it's like the guy talking about how it's like a country song. It's just stuck in my head. I don't know if anyone else is a TikTok fiend like myself. But that shit is stuck in my head. In my head. I got you, Emmanuel, a second. So would you trust AJ Brown and Higgins being hurt this week? I'm up 35 points on the second round of the quarterfinals. I have Hurts, Penix, Henry, Jacobs, Addison, AJ, Shakir, McBride, Irving, and Richard in the lineup. 2 quarterback, 3 wide receiver league. Would you trust AJ Brown and Higgins? AJ Brown among 4 players limited by the knee injury. Brown was listed as a non-participant in practice at Wednesday's walkthrough. So having his knee included as a reason for practice restriction Wednesday later indicates his health is compromised somewhat. The wideout was on the receiving end of a apparent hip drop tackle and was slow to get up. Brown's situation should be monitored. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see the team like benching him or something. So I do think he's going to play. T. Higgins. I'm just going to read off the like legitimate news here. T. Higgins should play despite missed practice. Higgins' knee did not practice on Thursday, but is expected to return on Friday, with Ben Babby of ESPN.com suggesting the wideout should be on track to play on Sunday, listed as a limited participation 1 day later. Higgins didn't practice Thursday, but at least felt good enough to do side work with the training staff. There was no sign of trouble in a 37-27 win over the Titans on Sunday. Higgins getting 86% of the snap share, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm not worried about Higgins. I would be more worried about AJ Brown, but ultimately I think they're both going to play. And you have Downs, Higgins, McMillan on the bench. So in your lineup, you got AJ, Shakir, McBride. I mean, I'd be playing Higgins over Shakir. I'd be doing that. I would not play Downs or McMillan over any of those guys. So my change would be, I'm fine with Hurts. I'm fine with Penix. My Penix hurts. Hurts and Penix. Definitely lock those bastards in there. Oh, fuck. I don't know what I just clicked. Hurts and Penix. Jacobs, Henry, Addison, AJ Brown, Higgins, McBride, Irving. That makes the most amount of sense. So yeah, I think you're gonna, and again, you're playing up against some tough tough competitors. You got JJ, Jamar Chase, and Najigba on the other side. So you really just want to be hunting for the most amount of upside possible. And I think sitting either Higgins or AJ Brown would be like the exact opposite of that. That would kind of be playing like the safe move, like, like if what's his name doesn't play well, that could be like the downward spiral for you. So I would be willing to take the upside shot on the guys that are banged up. So Hurts, Penix, Jacobs, Henry, Addison, AJ Brown, Higgins, McBride, and Irving should be your lineup. Should I go Murray or Nix? I got Murray ranked ahead of Nix. What's up? I can fix. How you doing, brother? Nix or Caleb? I would go Nix. Sweating the semifinals. Best of luck. Best of luck. Best of luck. Would you go Nix or Darnold? I would go Darnold. Lions or Broncos? Broncos. The Giants have more injuries. Check them out. They're all third stringers. Yeah, everyone on the Giants is permanently hurt. They just are. Let's fucking go McConkey. I hope McConkey absolutely shits the bed today. I hope McConkey scores 3 fantasy points because he's going up against me. But you better believe that he's probably going to score 40, drop his nuts in my mouth, because in my Superflex league, I cut his ass. I cut him in like week 3. I was trying to make room for other quarterbacks because Jordan Love got hurt and it was a whole disaster. And I honestly only felt comfortable dropping Lad. And looking back, that was a terrible decision. So I'm going up against Lad. This is my matchup for the week. I'm alive in 1 out of 4 of my leagues still. This is a super flex league. My team is on the left. Team Nix loves Purdy midget women. I know it's a very funny name. I'm a fucking comedian. And my picture is myself as Tony Soprano. So I'm on the left here. That's the squad. And then that's my friend Johnny on the right. Shout out Johnny. I doubt he's watching. Shout out him, though. Are we worried about the rain in Seattle for Darnold? Seattle NFL weather. I'm not that worried yet. It rains all the time. Seattle. She's bouncing off my booty cheeks. I love the way she ride. That's the song from fucking Ninja. Yeah, it says it's going to rain. Definite rain. So they're locking the rain in. Definite rain, 8-mile-an-hour winds, 13-mile-an-hour gusts. I'd have to see what it looks like to panic, but I'm not panicking yet. Why is Kirk Cousins a stone baller? He sucks, dude. He's so bad right now. I don't know why. He's just terrible. He is just terrible, as they say in Espanol. All right, so I hope I can win my matchup this week. Praying to the football gods above, we can eat a W like our name was famous Jameis Winston, baby. I believe this will be the Kittle week. I think so too. Flowers or DJ Moore, Nix or Caleb. Nix. Josh Allen doesn't choke in the playoffs. Is the defense the kicker? I know he doesn't choke in the playoffs, but it is funny to watch him lose in the playoffs. Maybe I said choke. I guess I shouldn't have said that, but yeah, it's funny to watch him lose in the playoffs because the guy's literally putting the team on his back and then they just lose anyways. It would be hard to find someone better off the waivers. I am playing AJ Brown this week. I would too. Hey, Nick. Hello. I have the Packers defense and the Bills defense. Who should I start? I have the Packers ranked at 1, and then Tucker or Bass. I would play Bass. Coker or Elijah Moore. Jerome Ford or Patrick Taylor Ford. Aaron, thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm all shook up. Oh, start 1 in full PPR. Bijan, Mixon, Brown, BTJ, Neighbors, Najigba. Oh, man. Not again. Joe Mixon. Let's look at his health. Let's do some reading. Do some light reading. Cleared for Saturday's game. He's cleared. The matchup's rough. Oh, man. You can't sit Bijan. You can't sit Brown. You can't sit Najigba. And you can't sit BTJ. So it's either Mixon or Neighbors. Now, I don't trust either of those fuckers, if I'm being completely honest with you. Mixon has been an elite running back all year long. Neighbors has not been. But Neighbors is going to get like 8,000 targets. Oh, that's rough. That is really, 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 really rough. Really, really rough. That's tough. Oh, man. The reason why I stopped talking was because I was texting, but I was also thinking about it. This is a really tough question. Oh, like, I'm not sitting Bijan, Mixon, BTJ, or Najigba. I think gun to the head, I think I'm playing Mixon. I think I'm playing Mixon even in the tough spot. I think I'm just going to play Mixon. Because Mixon, I've been a believer in Mixon all summer long, like that Kid Rock song. He helped me out. So I think I'm going to die on the sword with him, and I will be benching. I'll be benching Neighbors. I don't love it, but that's what we're going to do. Neighbors is going to ride the pine. All balls, no dick. What a name. Nick, I have the Eagles defense, but my quarterback is Jaden Daniels the fifth. But he's not Jaden Daniels the fifth. I fucking read that wrong. It's Jaden Daniels 5 is his numbers. I don't know why I said Jaden Daniels the fifth. But also the Texans, Colts, and Bengals and Falcons will be on Friday's waivers. I could grab them. Love you, man. I love you too. I love all you guys. Hope everyone's having a great day today and a great weekend. Hope everyone has a great weekend. So the Eagles I have ranked as my defense 11. I have the Falcons ranked as my defense 3. The Bengals 5. Yeah, so it's gonna be the Falcons. Realistically, most weeks I'm not gonna sit here and like lie to you guys and tell you like if I didn't have the defense or if I had my quarterback that I'd be so scared to play the defense. I don't think that way. I think it's fine to play your quarterback against your defense. Is it obviously the most optimal thing? No. But like I don't think it's necessarily like a death sentence for your fantasy team if you end up having to play your quarterback up against your defense. But in this scenario, when the Falcons are on waivers and I have the Falcons ranked as my third best defense going up against the Giants, and I mean, we did just see them look pretty decent last week. The Falcons defense. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he's some great option. So, or like the Falcons are like this great defense, right? Because they're not. I said this a lot last week. The Falcons are really a defense that has a couple of pieces, right? They have some of the pieces to the puzzle, but they don't have the full puzzle, right? Have you ever tried to, like, as a kid, you pick up like a puzzle and it turns out some kid stole like fucking the final piece of the puzzle, so it's missing like a couple of pieces? That's kind of like, in my opinion, what the Falcons are. They have a couple of pieces, but there's a couple screws loose. They're missing a couple of things, but ultimately up against the Giants, I would definitely run with the Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons. Jose Alberto Reyes, thank you for the super chat. I hope, you know what? Never mind. That was a good pronunciation, I think. That was a good pronunciation. I was dialed in right there for that one. Need a flex. You got Kyron, you got Ladd, you got Irving, you got Sutton. That's the type of question that is going to have you feeling real unnicey, right? This is the type of question where there's a lot of good options, and that makes it very easy to fall, right? Normally, if it's like, go pick between these 3 guys, I like 2 of the guys, but I love one of the guys, pause. It's easy, right? It's a layup. You fucking slam that thing in there. Here, this is not so much of a layup. This is kind of a tough question. I think it's got to be Bucky. I think it's got to be Bucky. Bucky is questionable. He's dealing with the Q, limited again on Thursday with the back and the hip. But he played last week after being limited all week. He was the running back 18, put up over 117 rushing yards. This is a guy that lives in the fucking end zone. This is a touchdown monster, a touchdown behemoth. And sure, while he did run a little bit cold last week and the week prior because he ended up getting hurt, I think I'm going to go up to bat with Bucky Irving, assuming that he plays. I got Bucky ranked 11th at running back. I have Kyron ranked 13th. I don't love Ladd this week because I think Herbert's a little bit banged up. So I do have Ladd ranked a little bit lower than what most would have. So Ladd would not be a part of the equation. Cortland Sutton is my wide receiver 12, though I will acknowledge that I don't love the lineup. I don't love the matchup. So I think gun to the head, I'm going to go with Bucky. And if Bucky is for some reason not able to go, just write this down. If Bucky cannot go, it would be Kyron for me. If Bucky is not able to get the nod to suit up. So it's either going to be Bucky, but if Bucky can't go, it's going to be Kyron. I think Sutton's going to have a decent game here. I think Sutton's going to be fine, but I don't want to sit here and pretend like this is some fucking elite matchup for him because it's just not. So that's the way that I would be going. That's the way. I like it. I would be going with Bucky Irvin for the Bucks. Jizya, thank you for the super chat. You got me to 2 semifinals out of 3, bro. So big love. Thank you. Big love to you as well. I appreciate you. Here we go again this week. Full PPR start 3. BTJ, Monbra, Tyreek, Puka, or AJ Brown. You'll also have Kyren and Mixon at running back with Bucky on the bench as well. Great question. So this week, I actually have Mixon ranked below both Bucky and Kyren. It's not by a wide margin. I have Bucky 11, Kyren 13, Mixon 14. The only reason why I don't have Mixon ranked higher is because the matchup up against the Chiefs is relatively tough, and he is coming off of an injury. Again, that doesn't mean run for the hills if you have Mixon. That doesn't mean you got to sit Mixon, because I didn't say that at all this week. I was actually pretty pro Mixon because I'm always a pro Mixon guy. But ultimately, I would give Mixon the kick to the bench for Bucky and Kyren starting. And then at receiver, this is a really tough question because you honestly don't want to be sitting any of these guys. These are all, in my opinion, must-start wide receivers, I guess, outside of Tyreek, but even Tyreek you're probably going to play. So I have Brian Thomas Jr. ranked as my wide receiver, number 11. I have A.J. Brown ranked 9th. I have Puka ranked 2. Amon-Ra ranked 7. Tyreek ranked 16th. So in terms of my rankings, I would have them ranked. I got Puka first. After Puka would be Amon-Ra St. Brown, followed by A.J. Brown, then BTJ, then Tyreek. So if you got 3 based upon my rankings, it would be Puka and then both Amon-Ra and A.J. Brown. So we're going to go Puka, Amon-Ra, and A.J. Brown, and then we're going to go with Kyren and Bucky at running back. You make me laugh. Salute. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. That means the world to me. Thank you. I'm so happy to make you guys happy. You know, it's kind of crazy. It's always crazy to get comments like this where it's like, oh, you make me laugh. You make my day better. It's crazy because I never think of myself as being like the funniest guy ever or anything, which I still don't think I am. I do think some of the things I say are funny, and I do even laugh at myself sometimes, but I don't think I'm like the greatest fucking comedian to ever grace Earth. But I do appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for the super chat. I wish you the best of luck in your playoffs. My 2 cents. Again, thank you so much. Anytime people super chat, it really does mean the world to me. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great one. And if you have a question, just drop it in chat. All balls, no dick, my man. Thank you for the super chat again. Shout out to my 2 cents. I really do appreciate the super chat. Another one, Brees or Higgins in my flex. Thanks, man. No problem. I'm going Higgins. I like Brees Hall. I'm a Brees Hall truther. I'm a Brees Hall enthusiast. I love Brees Hall. I might even say I'm a big fan of Brees Hall. Now, I'm not like the commander of the Brees Hall fucking bandwagon, right? Because I did like Bijan better than him in drafts, and guess what? That was right because I'm a genius, right? I know ball. But in terms of Brees now, like the Jets offense does look better, but the team kind of eased him in last week, and it's entirely possible that they kind of ease him in just slightly more. So I would go with Higgins, who I just know is the number 2 receiver on the Bengals, and I know that that's a good matchup up against the Browns, and I know he could end up blowing up and having an absolutely ballistic game. So if it's my team, I would go with T. Higgins personally. That would be the way that I would go about that. Kings, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. Walker healthy, pick 2. Dowdle, JT, KW. Yeah, I thought Walker was going to potentially miss. The most recent report would indicate that he would play. Let me just read exactly what it says for all of you guys with Kenneth Walker. Let's see. She's bouncing. Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker fully practiced on Thursday. So yeah, you're going to play Kenneth Walker. I'm going Kenneth Walker and Dowdle. I really liked Jonathan Taylor in the summer. I won't even eat my take and be like, Nick, you're an idiot. I can't believe I listened to you, right? Like that was like the worst take ever. I don't think that was a bad take. I think the take was logical. But he just hasn't played the best this year. The changing at quarterback, it's just like Steichen isn't coaching as well as I thought he would. I mean, it's just kind of a recipe for disaster. I mean, Jonathan Taylor had a touchdown last week where he just dropped the ball at the goal line instead of just walking directly into the end zone. I kind of question like what these players are thinking, because to be honest with you, all you have to do is just make sure you cross the goal line and then you get rid of the ball. Hey, maybe wait until you're in the logo, right? You know, like how like some of the teams, I don't remember where the game was, but like in the end zone, it'll be like, oh, Colts, wait until you stand on the fucking L in Colts and then drop the ball, right? Instead of making yourself look like an absolute fucking jerk off, dropping the ball right beforehand. And he wasn't the only one who did it last week, and he's not the only guy to do it this season. There was a bunch of players who have done it, so I don't know why they do that. That's not really like some negative aggression against Jonathan Taylor, like why I wouldn't sit him. But Rico Dowdle has been on fire. He has been playing out of his mind. So Rico Dowdle's in, and then Kenneth Walker, when he's in, you kind of just play him. So for me, it'd be Kenneth Walker, and it would be Dowdle. Danny Angel, thank you for the super chat. Goff at the Bears, Soldier Field, or Darnold in Seattle in the rain. I don't try to panic too much about the rain. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. But if that's something you panic about, Goff against the Bears is perfectly fine. I do have them ranked in a similar range. And based on the fact that they say that it's definite rain, I think I would lean with Jared Goff. Now, I will note that Jared Goff is a warm weather quarterback. And spoiler alert, in Chicago, it is cold. It's really cold. I've been to Chicago before. I was in Chicago in the summer, and it's actually very nice in the summer. But I know in the winter it gets cold. I went to Detroit last year for work in the cold around, I don't know, maybe it was April or something. It was fucking freezing. It was brick. So I know it's cold. Goff necessarily isn't this cold weather quarterback, but I would lean with Goff because of the rain. Oh, that's awesome, Caitlin. I'm glad you enjoy the streams. Glad you enjoy. Yeah, the holidays, as I've gotten older, the holidays are still fun, but it's just not as cool as it used to be, I guess, when you were a kid, right? Just not as cool. But I am working on Christmas, like my real job. I have to work. I worked on Thanksgiving. I am off on New Year's Eve, so that's great. But obviously, it does kind of suck to have to work on the holidays. But it is what it is. I won't complain too much, because not everyone even has a job, right? Some people aren't so fortunate, right? So, and I know what that's like. I fucking was searching for a job for a year before I got mine. So brutal. It was brutal. But I'm glad you enjoy, Caitlin. Shout out to everyone in chat. Make sure you guys all hit that like button. Paco, thank you for the super chat. Bench 1, London, Lad, Garrett, or Bucky, or Walker. Woo, woohoo. What's that song? Is that by Pink where it's like, woohoo, yoo-hoo? I don't know why that song just got in my head. I got Lad 18, GW 19. So I think the odd man out is going to be Garrett Wilson. To me, I'm locking Bucky in. I'm locking London in. I'm locking Walker in. It's up in the air between Garrett and Lad. I do have them back to back. I do think, if you're like Nick, I want to guarantee myself to get 13 points, I would play Garrett Wilson, because there is a chance that Lad McConkey could get absolutely locked up. Don't let me out. Don't let me out. Whereas I don't think that's as likely to happen to Garrett Wilson. But ultimately, the odd man out here is going to be Garrett Wilson with Devontae Adams playing so well. Tony, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Tony's question is, I feel like I'm overthinking McLaurin versus the Eagles and DK versus Minnesota with a good matchup. I'm leaning with McLaurin with a little bit of doubt. I get why you're overthinking things. Last time Terry McLaurin played up against the Philadelphia Eagles, he got locked up. They had him like that Luigi dude today. I don't know how many of you guys watch the news. I don't really watch the news, but it was all over Twitter. That Luigi guy who whacked the CEO of that company, they were transporting him today, and you would have thought that was the Joker or something. Like, you ever seen like when I don't know what movie it would be on top, like The Dark Knight Rises, when they're moving the Joker, or like when they arrest Superman, right? And they have like a million different things on him. That's how they were moving Luigi. It was like Luigi could have used like his laser eyes and murdered a million other people, right? That's the way that they were treating things. Hopefully what I just said doesn't get this video demonetized. And I don't know what the fuck that had to do with anything. What was I thinking? What was I going to say? Oh, that's what I was going to say. So last time Terry played up against the Eagles, he was locked up like that. He was holding Quinyon Mitchell's pocket like he was in prison. So that was not good. That was bad. Terry McLaurin has been on fire, and DK Metcalf has been ice cold. I get where you're coming from. I get the matchup's good for Seattle. The matchup isn't as good for Terry McLaurin, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I can sleep at night benching Terry McLaurin for DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf has not lived up to expectations at all this year. JSN is clearly the wide receiver one on the team. I get the thought process. I'm not going to say that's a terrible thought process. I'm not going to say that's a stupid decision. I'm not going to say that you are an idiot if you want to do that, because it does make sense. You do the math, you add it all up, and you can come to the conclusion that that is the case. It makes sense, but I'm going Terry. I don't love Terry this week. I'll just keep it 100. He did get absolutely torched last time, but I feel like things will be a little bit different this time. I think he will be able to get a little bit more success. And again, he has been playing really well recently, so I am willing to kind of die on the sword with him. I think both are super risky, so I'm just going to die on the sword with the guy that's actually played well. So we're going to go Terry. Twisted Folk, what's up, Andrew? How you doing, my man? Andrew, go with... Damn, your team is crazy. Your team looks good. If that's your lineup, that looks good. Twisted Folk, half PPR. Thank you for the super chat, my man. Ladd or Keenan, Love or Richardson. Thanks, Nick. No problemo. Ladd or Keenan is interesting because Keenan has been on fire. Keenan's been playing real well. I was really dismissive of Keenan Allen in the fantasy draft process, and I don't even think I was wrong. Like, what I said made perfect sense. Like, Rome, like they're going to try to pass the torch to Rome. And honestly, Keenan was so bad for a lot of the season that I don't even, like, I'm not waving the white flag on that take. Like, I don't think anyone's thinking like, oh, Nick was an idiot for telling me that, right? There's a lot of things that I said were incredibly stupid, but that wasn't one of them, right? That's not one of those where you can execute me like William Wallace, right? I don't think that's one of those takes. But Keenan versus Ladd. Keenan's been playing really well. Keenan played really well last time up against the Lions. I think I'd have to go Ladd. I just think Ladd feels way safer to me. Ladd feels like he honestly could just get so many targets in this game. Last week he had 7. He feels like a 10 to 12 target type of guy. Last time these two teams played, he did not have a great game. But again, I said that in the videos this week. That's because that was back in like week 6 or 5, something like that. And back then, Ladd wasn't really a big piece of the puzzle in this offense, right? He wasn't getting a huge piece of the pie, even though he is a talented player. It just wasn't going his way, whereas now it is. So I personally go Ladd over Keenan, and then I'd have to go with Love over Richardson. The most annoying thing about Jordan Love is he could get the offense to score so many points, but he ultimately kind of just gets cucked by the fact that his running back, Josh Jacobs, has been playing so well, and that does lead to a little bit of frustration. Ultimately, though, playing Anthony Richardson in the playoffs, even though it is up against the Titans, like I think the Titans defense is sneaky good, and Anthony Richardson's the kind of guy that can just shit the bed in any given game, whereas I do feel a lot more confident in Jordan Love up against the Saints defense that really hasn't been the best. Jordan Love is going to be a top 12 quarterback. He has the upside to be like a top 8 guy. He's going to be very consistent, whereas Anthony Richardson has zero consistency in his body. So I would be going with Ladd, and I would be going with Jordan Love. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. My man, I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Did you have a question involving these players, or was this just the team you were starting? Sit one, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, sit one. Thank you, Andrew. Oh, man. You got to sit one of them? The guy I'm sitting is going to be Mixon. Again, Mixon is one of those guys that I was ride or dying with. He was one of those guys that I talked up heavily in the summer, and it was one of my best calls. But sometimes the matchup just dictates you have to sit him. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's bad. It has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with the Texans, because even when the Texans offense has looked like straight up dick meat, he has still ended up playing quite well. Even when the offensive line has kind of turned into a turnstile, Mixon is still putting up solid fantasy football production. But the matchup up against the Chiefs is so hard. The Chiefs defense is amazing against the run. One of the top 3 defenses, in my opinion, against the run. So ultimately, Mixon gets the axe there. We'd go with JSN, BTJ, Bucky, and Connor. Ultimately, that's the way things go here. That's how it goes, baby. Nuts don't drop back down in Chicago until at least mid-March. That's a great assessment. Yeah, it was warm in Chicago when I was there in the summer, but I just know from talking to everyone that lived there that it was freezing. If it gets freezing in there. NJ, Thank you for the super chat. Pick 2 for the week in full PPR. Juwan Jennings, Keenan Allen, Jerome Ford, also Tua or Stafford. Thank you. Huck to spit on that thing. That joke isn't even funny. I don't think that's funny. But I was just watching a video about how, I don't know if anyone gives a fuck about like meme coins or anything. I don't own any of them. I'm not like some NFT guy or whatever those are, crypto coins. I'm not a crypto guy. I wish I was. I told my family about crypto when I was like 12 years old about Bitcoin. And of course, my dad didn't buy it. Fucking dumbass. If he bought that, we'd be rich right now. What a jack off, right? What an idiot. What an idiot. He's watching this stream on a computer that just crashes randomly. Instead, he could have like the computer that I'm on, but no. He decided not to buy crypto. But yeah, there's like she completely rug pulled her cryptocurrency, and it's just stuck in my head now. So sorry. I hope my dad's watching because that was literally just funny, and I hope he found that funny because it was supposed to be funny. Maybe he didn't think it was funny though. Okay, Jerome Ford, you're locking him in. You're locking him in. I know the Browns aren't going to be good. I know switching to DTR sucks, but I think they are going to run the ball 8 gazillion times. I just know they are. They're going to run the fuck out of the ball. And that's going to lead to Jerome Ford having a good game. The Bengals defense is not good. I know, shocker, right? Shocker. Their defense isn't very good, but I do want to advocate heavily for Mr. Jerome Ford. And then I would go for Juwan Jennings. I just think, like, I know he shit the bed last week, but I do think there are brighter days ahead for him. I just don't trust the Dolphins defense at all. So I'd go Juwan Jennings, Jerome Ford, and then Tua or Stafford. I would go with Tua. I know Tua played terribly last week, but Tua's a bad team merchant. Tua beats down on teams that are bad. In my opinion, the 49ers are a bad team. They're not the team that we thought they'd be. They're a team that's severely banged up. Now, could the fact that it's like the apprentice versus the Jedi Master, could that end up screwing the pooch? Sure, but Tua did play good against them a couple of years ago when they played in San Francisco. That's the day I got banned off of Twitter because the refs absolutely sold a call, and I called the refs a bunch of cocksuckers, and they banned me off of Twitter. What does banned mean? So yeah, I would go Juwan Jennings, Jerome Ford, and then Tua Tagovailoa. Vic, PPR, ETN or Ford, and Denver, Arizona, or hot Atlanta. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely going Ford over ETN. Look, I think I might shit on ETN a little too much. ETN's better than I give him credit for, but Bigsby is better than ETN. The problem is it could be anyone's backfield this week. They could give the ball to some running back you've never even heard of, their third string running back, right? This is a team that for no rhyme or reason, you will see a guy like Bigsby go off or your CETN go off. And then the next week it's the opposite. They're flipping, they're flopping. They might not even go with like one guy as the lead back, right? 2 weeks ago, it was Tank. Last week, it was ETN. This week, it might be a straight up split share. It could be one or the other. I just don't want to play that guessing game. So it's going to be Ford, who's the clear lead back in Cleveland. And then Denver, Arizona, or Atlanta. I'd be going up with Atlanta up against the Giants. I mean, the Giants are just so bad. The Giants are a laughing stock. The Giants are a dick cheese organization, bottom of the barrel. I would not even wipe my behind with them. So that's how bad they are. So I would personally be going ahead and firing up Mr. Unlimited. No, I would be firing up the Falcons defense, even though I don't think the Falcons defense is great. Falcons over Ford. Who is Surtain shadowing tonight? I don't know if he'll shadow Loud, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, if he was to shadow someone, it would be Loud. I just don't know if he will. SGT stacking, my man. Thank you for the super chat. Fist bump. Good to see you, Nick. Good to see you as well. I really appreciate you. Thank you for all the super chats this season. It means the world to me. Again, anyone that super chats, even anyone that cannot super chat, that's fine as well. I thank you guys so much for the season. It's been amazing. I posted on Twitter, and I'll just throw the tweet on screen right now so you guys can see. Throw it on the screen. So these are the numbers we did this season. I'm going to keep answering the questions. I just wanted to throw this on screen so you guys can see. I know not everyone follows me on Twitter. Not everyone gives a fuck either, but These are the numbers we put up. I'm going to get to your question in a second. We had 7,000 new subscribers this year, 1.7 million views, 272 uploads, 59.1 thousand likes, 11.1 thousand comments, and over 1,900 shares. So genuinely, thank you guys so much. Again, without all you guys, this is impossible. It's not possible for me to sit here for as many hours as I do if no one. Now, I did do it before when no one was watching, but if I did it for as long as I've been doing this for and people weren't watching, it would just eventually I would just give up. But I do really appreciate you guys. You guys mean the world to me. It's crazy. There's 94 people watching right now on a Thursday in week 16. It's amazing. So I love you guys so much. So thank you. Good to see you, Nick. Good to see you as well. Pick one quarterback, 2 running backs, and 3 wide receivers and a flex and a tight end. So Burrow or Mahomes, it's Burrow. It's not even a question. I love Patrick Mahomes as much as the next guy. I think Mahomes is a much better quarterback than he's been playing like, but let's be honest with you, he's been playing like shit, so we're not playing him, and Burrow's on fire, so it's obviously going to be Burrow. Henry, Mixon, Pollard, or Spears. It would be Henry and Mixon. I'm going to roll the dice with Mixon in this scenario. The matchup's tough, but Mixon is Mixon. And I kind of don't want to play the guessing game of Pollard, Spears, or ETN, or even Ford. I definitely have Mixon ranked ahead of Ford. Assuming that he's 100% good to go, which should be the case. Again, the matchup is tough, but it's not like great players have never succeeded in bad matchups before, right? In tough matchups, some running backs, some players are going to be able to overcome those matchups, right? Just like some players, it might be a wet dream matchup. You're fucking going to sleep, just bricked up thinking about the game, and then the game doesn't go your way, right? That it happens all the time. So I would go Henry and Mixon there. At receiver, it's going to be the first 3, Amon-Ra, Collins, and Higgins. At tight end, it might be strange. It might be strange. I got Kraft ranked at 9, Strange ranked at 10. Do we move him right now? Do we move him live? I mean, Kraft's been playing nice. Kraft's been playing good. Fuck it, we're switching it. We're going with Strange. Strange is going up against the Raiders. Strange got how many targets last week? 12? I'm buying in. I bought in on him last week. I told you guys Strange was sneaky last week, and he played great, so we're going to go Strange. So we're going to just type this out because we've been talking, and we didn't write it down. So it's going to be Burrow, it's going to be Mixon, and it's going to be Henry. It's going to be Amon-Ra. It's going to be Collins. It's going to be Higgins. It's going to be Strange. But if you want to play Kraft, you feel like, I want a little bit more safety, I do think Kraft is safer. And then at the flex, no flex zone. I think I'd have to go with Shakir just to get some more safety into your lineup, right? He's a very safe player, and he does have a lot of upside. He gets a lot of targets every single week around, I believe it's 7+ in, I think 7 or 8 straight games. I don't think this is going to be like this super high scoring game. I think the Bills could hammer down on him, but it's not going to be like a game where Shakir magically gets a lot of points in like the fourth quarter because the Bills and Patriots are going to war back and forth. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I do think Shakir is going to have a pretty solid game. So we're going to go Burrow, we're going to go Mixon, Henry, Amon-Ra, Collins, Higgins, Strains, and Shakira. So thank you for the super chat. Full PPR. Yeah, I assumed it was full PPR. Most people's questions are either full or half PPR. Nicholas, my man, thank you for the super chat. Sup, Nick? What's going on, my man? Great name. Starting Hill and Terry. Pick 2. Ford, Jennings, MHJ, Mooney, Thielen. Great question. Man, it's so hard to answer these questions about Marvin Harrison Jr. because I genuinely do feel bad that I talked up Marvin Harrison Jr. so much. I thought he was going to be elite. He hasn't been. He hasn't even been close to elite. I mean, he's been shit in a lot of these games. The upside is there, right? Like, no one's going to be surprised if on Sunday the game ends and, Marvin Harrison Jr. has 30 fantasy points. No one would be surprised by that. No one. But he hasn't played great recently. Again, I really like Ford, so I'm going to play Ford. I was a Ford truther in the summer. He hasn't necessarily lived up to my expectations, but I did bang the drum for him in the summer, and I'm still going to continue riding that wave. I like him. And then I want to trust Mooney, but I think Kirk not being there and them switching, while I think Kirk being out is way better for Drake London, I think it's way worse for Mooney because it seems like Mooney and Kirk Cousins had this elite connection. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Ford and Jennings. I like Laporta, but I don't like them as much as Ford as Jennings. And I do think Jennings will bounce back. I think Purdy's going to play better. I missed your super chat, Noah. Did I? Did I skip right over you? But yeah, I would 100% go Jennings and Ford. She's bouncing on my booty cheeks. I love the way she ride. Oh my gosh, I did skip it. I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. McLaughlin or Dicker rest of season? Great question. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. That's the first time in a long time I think I've skipped right past someone's super chat. So I'm actually really sorry about that. Thank you. It's a great question too. It's a great question, Noah. It's the greatest question, let me tell you. McLaughlin or Dicker? Rest of season. I mean, those are two of the better kickers in fantasy. I think it's got to be McLaughlin, though. I think it's got to be McLaughlin. McLaughlin this week going up against Carolina. Dallas. Next week he's going up against Carolina. Carolina's sneaky good. They could score some points. We could see a decent amount of kicking from McLaughlin. McLaughlin's played so well this season that I think it would almost be hard to say anyone other than McLaughlin. Dicker's played well too, though, so I don't want to shit on Dick, pause. But I am worried about Herbert being banged up and that inhibiting the offense. And if the offense can't get in field goal range, then he can't kick field goals. So for me, it would have to be McLaughlin on the Buccaneers going forward. What's up, Nick? What's up, Tyler? How you doing? Pick 2, Terry Ladd Chuba. 2 Kraft. 2 Kraft Oracle. 2 Kraft Oracle. What the fuck? Am I stupid? Kraft or Kel? Who the fuck is Kel? Who the fuck is that guy? But it's gonna be obvious once I type in Kel. Kelsey. That's so obvious. Kelsey over Kraft. And then Chuba and Terry. But if you want to be safe, it would be Ladd and Chuba. So if you're trying to play it safe, play Ladd and Chuba. If you're up for the risk, which I would do, I'd play Terry and Chuba, and I would play Kelsey over Kraft. Joel, thank you for the super chat. Start 2, MHJ, Tyreek, MHJ. You meant to throw in Flowers. That makes more sense now. That's what I assumed. Great question. Great question. Tough question. Real tough question. Real tough question. You're definitely playing Tyreek. Oh, I have really body bagged Flowers down my rankings. I have thrown Marvin Harrison Jr. down the rankings. I don't trust either of these fuckers at all. Don't trust them at all. Gun to the head, though, I'm playing Flowers up against Pittsburgh. I just think Flowers, he's been so cold recently that one of these days he's just going to pop off and have a huge game. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm feeling Flowers. And I'm also feeling like Flowers is probably a little bit safer too. So I'm going to go with Flowers. And I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill. Chow, Zhang. Thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. McMillan, Judy, Ford, or Thielen at the flex? Great question. I think it's going to be Ford. Guys, we might be dying with Ford. We might be sleeping with the fishes if Jerome Ford has a bad game due to how much I've talked him up. But dude, that Bengals defense is trash. That Bengals defense is so bad. So while I don't love the player Ford is, I don't think Ford is the second coming of the greatest player of all time. But yeah, I would go Ford. I like Judy. I love Judy. I think he's been playing extravagantly, but no, Jameis is bad. McMillan's been hot, but I don't know if I trust it yet. I like Thielen too, but I'd go Ford personally. If it's my team, I'm playing Ford. Lucius, thank you for the super chat, my man. Start 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Hill, Sutton, Higgins, Mixon. 2 wide receivers and 1 flex. Sutton, Higgins, Hill. I do think Mixon is safer than Hill. Hill absolutely dropped a deuce on you last week if you played him. I get it, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I I didn't watch the game. I watched the game. I was mad at the game. Tua screwed me. I was pissed. That was one of the most aggravating Dolphins games I have ever watched. Now, I've watched games where the Dolphins look like trash, like where I just knew they were going to lose, right? There's been so many games of my life where before the game even starts, I've waved the white flag. I've accepted defeat. I've thrown in the towel. That was a game where I thought we would win. So I was very defeated by that game. The Dolphins also hip dropped Mixon, which was just fucking disgusting. I don't know why they didn't call a penalty on that. I hate the hip drop tackle. I don't think you should do it, obviously, but sometimes it just happens. Like, it is the best way to get a guy down is hip dropping their ass. But yeah, I'd go Hill, Sutton, and Higgins just because Mixon's facing up against one of the best run defenses in the NFL. If he was going up against a different defense, even banged up, I'd be talking up Mixon. But I just can't talk him up as much here. So it's going to be Sutton, Higgins, and Hill. But again, if you want to be like, oh, I want to get 10 points, then maybe you could play Mixon over Hill. But I'm still playing Hill. So Hill, I'm going with the first three. Hill, Sutton, and Higgins. IV213, thank you for the super chat. Bonix tonight or Ron Rodgers. Thank you for the super chat. Anyone watch the Aaron Rodgers documentary? Genuine question. Did anyone watch that? Is it good? Let me know. Should I watch it? Should I take some ayahuasca and watch that thing? I don't take any drugs. I actually don't do any drugs at all. I'm not a drug guy. Nothing against it if you do them, though. I do not judge. Knicks played like fucking dick meat last week, but I do think Knicks is going to play better than Rodgers. I have Knicks ranked 11, Rodgers ranked 13. I mean, if you're talking about matchup, like I do like Rodgers' matchup better. And Rodgers has played really well recently, but something tells me like that's just bound to come down, right? Like he's not going to be balling out like he has the last 2 weeks. I still think he's a top 12 quarterback. I think it's close, but I'd personally lean with Bo Nix going up against the Chargers. I just don't think Nick's going to throw 3 picks like he did last week. Trance, thank you for the super chat. Trance T. Gus Edwards or Ty Johnson. In my opinion, Ty Johnson, his usage is going to go down. Why is his usage going to go down? Because the reason why Ty Johnson was seeing a lot of usage as of recently is because the Bills were in games that were back and forth, right? In a real high-scoring game, you might throw in Ty Johnson more over James Cook. You're going to throw him in more over Ray Davis. But in a game where you're just beating the ever-living shit out of the Patriots, you're not going to need Ty Johnson. You're going to just run the rock with James Cook. You're going to hand the rock to Ray Davis, punish the defense, slow him down, and then maybe Ty Johnson luckily punches one in, but I don't really think that'll happen. Gus Edwards obviously reeks. Gus Edwards is slow. He is, it's like I don't know even how to describe it. It would be like if Gus Edwards basically has like a version of me on each of his leg, right? I'm just like hanging on to his leg while he runs. He runs in slow motion. He runs in 0.5 speed. But I'd still go Gus Edwards because I think he's more likely to score the touchdown. Should I drop Reed for Brenton Strange? I have Otten and Pitts. No. I would not, but I mean, if you want to play him this week, I do have him ranked ahead of Otten Pitts. I would just be fine dropping. Yeah, I'd be fine doing that if you want to play him. Hope Tucker Kraft gets a touchdown on Monday night. I think he could. What's your take on Patrick Taylor this week on Sunday in Miami? The Dolphins suck ass against the run. Patrick Taylor, I don't think he's that great, but I think he's fine. I currently have Patrick Taylor ranked as my running back. Where is he? He's my running back 23. So I think he's going to be fine. Bengals defense versus the Browns or Chargers versus the Broncos. Bengals. Sutton goes off tonight. I feel it in my bones. I hope so. Who should I start? Love or stick with Mahomes? AR? No, I'd play Love. Bouncing off my booty cheeks. I love the way she rides. Desmond, thank you for the super chat. Lad, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek, or Rashad? Thank you for the super chat. Tyreek, Rashad, and Lad. Rashad, even when Bucky's playing, Rashad's just got a nose for the end zone. Rashad just loves being in the end zone. Rashad has been playing real well. I was not the biggest Rashad truther. I still think Bucky's better than him. But even with Bucky playing, it's like a 50-50 split in terms of snaps. This is a Buccaneers offense that can move up the field very easily. Baker Mayfield's been playing out of his mind this season. He's been playing like one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, even if you might not think Baker is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's been playing like it. And this team is dangerous in the red zone. So I would go with Rashad White. I would go with Ladd over Garrett Wilson. Again, I have Ladd ranked. Let me just pull up the exact ranking. I have Ladd ranked one spot ahead of Garrett Wilson. Ladd 18, Wilson 19. It's a toss-up, but I'd go Ladd. And then I can't sit Tyreek. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Look, you drafted him in the first round. I'm going to bat with him in my semifinal matchup. I'm going to bat with a guy that I know could score 40 fantasy points, especially if Waddle doesn't play. Now, again, is he guaranteed to score 40 fantasy points? Fuck no, baby. I don't think he's going to score 40 fantasy points, but could he? Yeah. And I don't think Garrett Wilson will with how Devontae Adams has played. So I'm going to go with Ladd, Tyreek, and Rashad White. My man Shane, thank you for the super chat. Hey, GOAT, what's going on? You're the GOAT too. Pick 2 wideouts and a flex. Hill, Cup, Smitty, Downs, MHA, Ford, or Hawkinson. Also, Falcons or Packers, and Burrow or Daniels. Thank you for the super chat. I have the Packers as my defense number 1. The Falcons are number 3. You can't go wrong with either. I lean with the Packers. So at defense, we're going Packers. You also have Pacheco. That's fine. So we got the Packers. In terms of quarterback, it's got to be Burrow. Burrow has just played too damn well for me to sit him. Nick, Jaden Daniels is playing well too. I know he is. I'll give him all the credit in the world. I love Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is on my final Best Ball Mania team that's still alive. I'm cheering for it to hopefully win the whole thing, win $1.5 million, and buy a mansion or something. Not New Jersey, though. Maybe I could buy Tony Soprano's house if I win. That would be awesome. I bet you Tony Soprano's house is worth way more than that, though. Tony Soprano's house. How much is it worth? How much did Big Tone pay for that thing? $3.4 million. Never mind. Won't even be able to afford that. But yeah. Burrow over Jaden Daniels, assuming Burrow plays. Packers over the Falcons. You got to play Cup. You got to play Hill. And you got to play you got to play Smith. So that's the answer there. Again, I like Ford. I like Hawkinson. But I think you're kind of gonna just play Smith. He's like a guaranteed top 24 option most weeks. Cup shit the bed last week, but I think he plays better. And I think Hill plays better too. So Hill, Cup, Devontae Smith, Packers defense, and Joe Shiesty. And Pacheco, I'm not even considering Pacheco. I don't think Pacheco has a great game. Starting Brenton Strange over Travis Kelce this week. That's crazy. But respect. Rio, thank you for the super chat. Ladd or DJ Moore? Great question. I have DJ Moore ranked 20, Ladd ranked 18. I do personally think DJ Moore might be safer than Ladd, but I think I'd still go Ladd because I feel like Ladd's just going to get like 15 targets. Last time DJ Moore went up against the Lions, he was the wide receiver 7, but his targets have not really been the highest. Like, I think Ladd's probably going to out-target him. It is close. I do, though, just believe that Ladd's going to out-target him. And again, I don't really think Surtain's going to 100% blanket Ladd, so I would be going with Ladd. It is close, but I'd lean Ladd. I would lean with Ladd. Rank my starting team. Yeah, I'm playing Murray over Knicks, and yeah, that team looks good. Looks solid. Looks like a nice 9. Ladd, Moore, or Addison. I would go Ladd. PPR, pick 1, Juwan Jennings, Wilson, Shakir, and pick 1, Dowdle or Kenneth Walker. I would go. Did I delete Kenneth Walker from our rankings? I'm going Dowdle. And I'm going Juwan Jennings. Nope, I'm going Dowdle and I'm going Garrett Wilson. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Can I trust Knicks tonight? Yes. I have to play Knicks tonight in my Superflex League. I'm hoping Bo Nix goes absolutely bananas. I'm hoping Bo Nix elbow drops the LA Chargers. Is he guaranteed to do that? Of course not. But yeah. So yeah, I'm going Bo Nix. I do trust him. Yeah, I do trust him. I mean, last week, if he just did throw 3 interceptions, he would have had a really big game. I don't know how many of you guys use TikTok, but TikTok is like one of the, like, literally, like, you lose brain cells reading TikTok videos. It's like, there's one I was watching earlier today. It's like, oh, the Jets record. If the Jets were good, right? It's like, oh, they would have won this game. 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 And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? The Jets would have been good if they were winning these games. Like, of course. Yeah, if the Dolphins were better, they would win the Super Bowl, right? It's just funny. But yeah, I would go with Bo Nix against the Chargers. I do feel confident in him. Daniels or Darnold? I would go Daniels. Sutton or Garrett Wilson? I would go Sutton. Sutton. As Spock would call him, Cortland Sutton. Neighbors or BTJ? I would go BTJ. I would go BTJ. I'm getting nervous about my playoff matchup. I don't even ever get nervous about fantasy, but I'm a little bit nervous tonight, I won't lie. I'm a little bit nervous. A little bit scared. Needing my game. Needing my team to play well. Needing to win. I won that league last year. I'm the commissioner. I need to win again. Need to bitch my friends. They don't deserve to win. They don't deserve to beat me. One second. All right. Next question. Bucky, Ladd, Moore, Ford, Shakir. I'd go Bucky and Ladd. Monty is out for the rest of the regular season. Yes. Yes, he's out for the season. He's actually coming back, interesting enough, for the playoffs. Allegedly. Allegedly, he may be good to go for the playoffs, and that would be awesome for the team. Now, it sucks for me because I was a big Monty guy, and the fact that Montgomery's not going to be there for the finals, that's going to be where people are going to discredit him, and people will forget about him. Actually, that's better. People will forget about him, and they'll forget that Montgomery's there next year. Like, I feel like people are going to sleep on Montgomery again. I feel like Montgomery is like a generational sleeper. People just don't like him for some reason. Flex 2, Pacheco, Kendrick Miller, Abdullah, or Tracy. I would play Abdullah and Tracy. Sutton or DJ Moore? Sutton. Yeah, that's why I was asking, making sure no one would grab him. That makes sense. Who should I start? DK, MHJ, or McMillan? I would play MHJ and McMillan. David Njoku or Ferguson or Strange, wide receiver Hills or Adams. If Njoku plays, I'm playing him. I don't think he's going to play those, so Strange. And then Hill or Adams. Patrick Taylor Jr. finally going to start. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, I like Patrick Taylor, but I hope he plays well. Trevor. BTJ, JT, Ladd. I assume you meant pick 2, BTJ and Ladd. Tracy or Patrick Taylor? Patrick Taylor. Whoop. I said what in the button. I'm going to move Jalen McMillan up my rankings. Moving him on up. Oh, I already got him 35. I don't know how much further up I can move him. I just moved him up to 32. Mr. Unlimited or Tua. Alexander Madison took over now. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Because I don't. I don't believe that. Let's see what the snaps say. Abdullah outsnapped Madison. It is. That's a fact. That's a fact. Tua, Rodgers, Tua. PPR, JT. I would play BTJ and Ladd. Knicks or Kyler. Ladd or Terry McLaurin? Ladd. No, I have Terry McLaurin ranked higher, but Ladd is safer. Strange or Hawk? Bro, this game is about to start. I got Herbert, Russell, and Penix. I would play Herbert. I think. Let me just check. I have Herbert ranked 18. I don't have him ranked very high. But I do have him ranked higher than Mithra Unlimited and Penix. Last time the Ravens played the Russ, he shit the bed. Last week was stressful for me. I won by 4 points. Love it. Good luck, baby boy. Go Bills. Good luck, man. Where can I see my rankings? They're on Patreon. I'll flash them on the screen right now, though, if you guys want to see. She's bouncing off my booty cheeks. I love the way she ride. J-Mo, Shakir, Adams, bench 1. I'm benching J-Mo. Bet. Okay, so here's the quarterback rankings. You can just pause or just come back after the video. I guess I'll just talk, but you can just, after the stream, you can just check. I'm going to scroll down again. These will get changed. These are not like stone cold locked in for right now, but that's what they look like right now. Sutton or McConkey, I would go Sutton. Fins up. Half PPR, need to flex McMillan. Miller, because Kamara is out. Ridley or Spears if Pollard is out. I would go McMillan. I know for sure I have Ridley ranked higher, but I don't really trust Ridley. Technically, the rankings say Ridley, but I think I would play McMillan if it's my team. All right, drive safe, Tyron. I'm starting Sutton over Higgins. Yay or nay? Yay. Yay. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. Give that subscribe button. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, shout out to Underdog. Promo code Notorious. Make sure you guys sign up on there if you're new. Burrow or Baker, Chuba or Mixon, Higgins or B-Rob. Higgins, Chuba, and Burrow. BTJ or Jennings? BTJ. Mixon, Tracy, Rashad, or Brian Robinson. Bench 1. I am benching Tracy. I'm benching Tracy. Yeah, Tracy. All right. I'm going to throw my underdog team that's still alive on the screen so you guys can see. This is what we're pulling for this week. 1 out of 13 people in this pod will advance. And hopefully that one person is me so I can make it to the Super Bowl. Why bench Tracy? Because the Giants suck. That's why. Knicks or Ryan. And I like Tracy, but I just have the other guys ranked ahead of him. Knicks or Rodgers? Knicks. So this is my team that's in the semifinals. Jane Daniels, Kirk Cousins, who's done for. Drake May, James Cook. Sadly, Montgomery's out. Raheem Mostert, Dowdle, Khalil Herbert. But the receivers are loaded here. Chase, Drake London, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, the Patriots guys, Tolbert and McLeod. And then I got Kelsey and I got Janu. So hoping James Cook and Rico both put up like 20 points. And then the wide receivers go bananas. And then Kelsey and Janu both tag team up to actually have a good game. And Jane Daniels plays good. And we can move on, hopefully. If I make it out of this, that will put me in the top 519, which would give me $3,750, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for $3,750. But what we're really looking for is $1.5 million. And I also have another team in the Pug, which isn't as cool of a tournament. It is still cool, but not as big of a winner if it was to hit Jane Daniels, Jared Goff, Achane, Cook, Hubbard, but my receivers suck. St. Brown, McLaurin, Jaden Reed, Jameson Williams, Mike Williams, Andre Yosivas, Malik Washington, Brock Bowers, and Cole Kmet. Facts. You should have bought Bitcoin. All right. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below if you are new. Whether you are new to the channel or not, leave a like on today's video. It would help me out a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you to Spock. Thank you, Tyron. Thank you to all the mods, Caitlin, everyone that was here. Off the top of my head, I don't remember every single moderator that was here, but shout out to all the mods. Shout out to everyone that was watching. I appreciate you all. Thank you to every single person that super chatted. I'll just read everyone's name off. Shout out to Izzy Drizzy. Shout out to Tyler Sperry. Shout out to Emmanuel. Shout out to Aaron Bren. Shout out to All Balls No Dick. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Jizzy. Yeah. Shout out My 2 Cents. Shout out King. Shout out Danny Angel. Shout out Paco. Shout out to Tony Nelson. Noah. Shout out Twisted Folk. Andrew Rea. NJ. Vic. SGT Stacking. Nicholas. Noah. Tyler. Joel. Shao. Lucius. Ivy. Trance. Desmond, Shane, Rio, and Chris Sims. Thank you guys all. I love you guys a long time. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace out. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Thank you guys for watching the stream. I hope I answered everyone's question. Facts. Let's eat a W. Good luck, everyone. See you guys on Sunday with the stream, tomorrow with a video, Saturday with a video. Maybe stream Saturday. Maybe no video Saturday. Maybe stream. When does the game start on Saturday? NFL Saturday. Starts at 1. Maybe we go live at like 10. We'll see. Love you guys a long time. Have a great one. Peace out. Sutton or Addison? Sutton. Love you guys. Adios, mis amigos. Peace. Sutton or Jennings? Sutton. Boy, boy. All right, we'll turn some music on, actually. Turn some music on to get out of here. Maybe video Saturday. Maybe not. Who knows? Sutton for both y'all. Facts. Boy.